In this video, we'll learn about writing our own methods. We've been using the built-in methods for our Alice objects, such as turn to face and say. What we'll do today is organize our story into scenes and shots that can more manageably solve our bigger problem of telling a longer story. In the next class, we'll figure out how to give our objects new behaviors by giving them object methods. Two of the really powerful reasons to use methods are divide and conquer methodology, which lets us break a big problem into smaller parts, solve the smaller parts, and then combine it into a solution to the original big problem. And we can hide details, the complex details, with abstraction. What we'll do today is start with a big program that will divide into several scenes, and one of those scenes we can divide into several shots. So I'm going to start with an empty world, and I'm just going to create some new methods. I have the world selected in the object tree, I have the methods tab selected, and I'm going to press the create new method button. When you press this button, you're prompted to give it a name, and we usually want to give it a verb. So I'm going to name this play scene 1. And we see that underneath my first method, play scene 1 has shown up. I also have two tabs open that I can edit, and I'll create two more methods here, play scene 2 and play scene 3. So I can put some things in here just to test things out. So I have a ground, I can have the ground say something, so I'm editing play scene 1, and I'll have the ground say this is scene 1. And I'll have in scene 2, we'll have the ground say this is scene 2. And scene 3 similarly. So let's try to test it. I'll hit play, and we get an error message. The current method is not called by any events or any other methods. Well, what that means is nothing happens. So when the world starts, world.myFirstMethod is called, and if I look in world.myFirstMethod, what's in here is do nothing. So my program still does nothing. So what I want to do is tell my first method to call my new methods. So I'll go find those again by selecting the world and the methods tab, and I can drag play scene 1, play scene 2, and play scene 3 into my first method. Now when I test the program, we get this is scene 1, this is scene 2, and this is scene 3. Okay, good. So we've broken down the larger problem into these smaller scenes. Now what I'm going to do is break play scene 2 into many further shots. So I'll create some more methods for this. Okay, so now I have play scene 2, shot 1, shot 2, and shot 3. And all of these have do nothing in them. But what I want to do is have these be called from my play scene 2 method. So I'm going to drag these over here in this order. And now I can disable this or delete it. And I'm going to do the same thing in play scene 1 and play scene 3. Okay, so now my program's back to doing nothing, but I have these shot 1, shot 2, and shot 3. So we basically have this setup now. I have left off shot 2-4, so let's use this setup to tell a larger story. Let's tell a story about the wizard and trolls attacking the castle. So I'll go add objects, and in the medieval gallery I have a castle, so I'll add this one here. And let's see, we'll position it how we want it. Looks good. And let's add some troll and some wizards. So I'll add a wizard. Let's do this one first. And we'll notice the objects are showing up in the object tree. And now I want 3 trolls. Notice that we have class troll, and I can add one of them to the world. And we get the troll in the world. And I can add more trolls, which are further instances of the same class. Okay, so now I have 3 trolls. We have troll, troll 2, and troll 3. And I'm going to position them kind of facing the castle. Good. So we have a good scene set up, and let's start adding some actions. So in play scene 2, shot 1, what we want is the trolls are going to decide to attack the castle. So let's have this guy be the leader, the original troll. And what he can do is say, let's attack the castle. And then the other trolls can agree. So we'll do 2 together. And I'll select troll 2, and they can say yeah. And I'm going to copy this and have troll 3 say yeah. Okay, good. Let's test it, make sure it works. Let's attack the castle, and they say yeah. Okay, good. Pretty happy with that. Maybe I should shrink these trolls down. Okay. So now we want scene 2, this wizard should appear. So there's a few things we want to do. I want to make the wizard, first of all, start out invisible. So I'll select the wizard, I'll go to the Properties tab, and set the opacity to 0. So he starts out invisible. Now in scene 2, shot 2, the wizard should appear. So I'll drag the opacity into the scene and have him appear as fully opaque. So let's play this again. So let's attack the castle. They say yeah, and then the wizard appears. Now what I want to do is have the camera zoom in and focus on the wizard. So I need to have him visible so I can change the camera. But we need to do one more thing. I need to remember the camera's position. I'll do that by selecting Add Objects, and over on the right side there's a More Controls button. The More Controls gives us a few options here: Drop Dummy at Camera and Drop Dummy at Select Objects. We can use these to control our camera motion. So look over at the object tree now, and I'm going to press the Drop Dummy at Camera, and now we get a new folder with dummy objects in there. And what the dummy is essentially a saved camera location. So I can rename this as Original Camera. So now what I can do is kind of move the camera around any way that I want. So I want to have this close-up view of the wizard, and that looks pretty good right there. And what I'll do now is drop dummy at camera again. So now I have a second dummy that shows up in the object tree, and I'll rename this one Close-up of the wizard. Okay, so I can move back and forth between these by just selecting the original camera view and close-up camera view. Looks good. Okay, so we'll go back to editing our program, and what I want in scene 2 shot 1 is we want the camera to start out at this view. So the way I can do that is I select the camera from the object tree and then the Methods tab, and we're going to use the Set Point of View as Seen By method. And what this method does is it changes the camera's point of view to that saved dummy. So I'll drag this over. I want this to happen first, and we can say as seen by and find that dummy object of the original camera location. And I'm going to change the duration to 0 so that it happens instantly when this scene starts. Now in scene 2 shot 2, we want the camera to zoom in on the wizard, and so that shouldn't happen instantly. It should happen over a certain amount of time. So I'll find Set Point of View again, drag it over here, and now the dummy object I'm selecting is the close-up on the wizard, and now the wizard should tell them that they can't come in. So he'll say, "You shall not pass." And we can make this one kind of nice and big and red. So I'll make this red. I'll make this big. I'll make it duration of 2 seconds. That looks good. Okay, so this set point of view should zoom the camera in over about 1 second. I'm first going to change the wizard back to invisible to start and play the program. Let's attack the castle. Yeah. Wizard appears, zoom in, you shall not pass. Okay, excellent. So we're ready for scene 2, shot 3. So scene 2, shot 3, what's going to happen is the camera should zoom back out. So let's go find the camera, find the camera's methods, and find set point of view. And we'll set point of view back to the original camera position. So we can reuse that object. I don't need to make another new one. And at this point we can maybe have all 3 of the trolls turn towards the wizard because they're about to attack them or pummel them with their clubs or something like that. So we'll have the first troll, and they can turn to he can turn to face the wizard. And I'll copy this 2 more times, and then make this one be troll 2, and this one be troll 3. Okay, good. I'm ready to do the final testing. Let's attack the castle. Yeah. Wizard appears, zoom in, you shall not pass. Zoom back out, and they turn to the wizard because they're about to go pummel him. So you can decide what happens next when you do this yourself.